fuel offer n'okusala emisolo. That's still coming up in the speech that we had yesterday. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, are you sleeping? Are you okay?
No, I'm looking at my phone while you explain to people.
No. The way you were staring at your phone, I think either someone sent you a very wonderful message or money. Like mobile money.
If it is money, I agree.
Coming to you live from Plot 249, Gaba Road. Hot on the heels. Fast, reliable, and informative. Agagwira wo, gasokira wano, gatabanagafuna. Agagwira wo, 100.2 Galaxy FM.
The morning is beautiful. Among the stories that we have for you today, security has been beefed up as the oldest university in the country.
Yeah.
The biggest university.
In the country.
The
biggest or oldest? Or both?
Both.
Is it biggest and oldest?
When we say biggest, in terms of what?
Size, of course.
Sitting
size,
on land.
then oldest is age.
Yeah, I want to think it takes both.
Yeah, it does. It does take both.
Anyway, it's going to be holding its 72nd graduation ceremony.
Yeah. It's happening today, starting today. President Museveni is going to be the chief guest of honor. And then the First Lady, who is also the Minister for Education and Sports, is also going to be... Security has been tightened. You know, First Lady and President all together in one place. You know how security is.
Definitely. And you know what's funny?
Yeah.
This one has their own security.
Hey.
This one has their own security.
They
don't want to know.
They can't mix security. It is a blunder. Because
have you ever seen them like clash? Agenda itawo nonedda taitawo.
About security?
Anyway.
So we have about 12,000 graduates. The graduation ceremony starts today and it proceeds up to May 27th. 6,538 are female.
Okay.
And we have about 5,000 male. 52% of the graduates are female. 42% of these graduates are male. Yeah.
And you're still wondering why?
It's why should you even bring it up that I should wonder why?
Wondering why things are the way they are these days. Why it is difficult to find a man.
Why is it difficult?
Innocent abakazi muri banje I beating you here every day. You many you have money.
You know, by the way,
temwagala
tubagale mubiteka mu mindset, and it is how women are getting empowered, who are realizing that being empowered is important for them. Education 52%, is one of the things that makes you empowered.
And even by the way, last year I want to remind you that there were more females than males.
Yeah.
So these 52% that we have sent, most of those people are going to get like white collar jobs. They have their businesses. They have people that are funding them because they are women.
Yeah.
Abalenzi bagenda ku hustle, bagenda kweyiya. Nedda. No. If two people walked into here, Pam, a boy and a girl, it is more likely that the girl will get the job, even if the boy is more qualified.
No, it's not a guarantee.
It's not a guarantee, but it's more likely people in workplaces have come to appreciate women more. They feel that the jobs are safer when they are given to women.
But what is the problem? If a woman has the qualifications that she requires for a position, women are more aggressive. Women are more, let's say, they are more accurate in the way they perform, and they are honest in how they do their things. So why wouldn't an employer want someone who is going to be someone who is result oriented?
What happens to the boy child now?
Boy child, he has a mama abana car, he has girlfriend this side, he has he's a bit crafty, you know, somehow he has to get a bit crafty.
We can't run the country and the generation based on he's a bit crafty. You're sending him to be crafting up Bob Taimbwa. That's being crafty. Chikumi kaumuze bidi Galaxy FM anyway, you can let us know what you think. Kunotu musamvu, yamunoti bidi. Let's talk about yesterday's speech.
Yeah, yesterday.
Let's
brace ourselves for the toughest times to come ahead. Because Museveni has explained, the president of Uganda, yesterday in his speech, he has said, we do not have any way that we can subsidize cut on tax for fuel, cut on tax for these essential commodities, because it would be suicidal to the economy.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And it makes sense because Uganda depends on taxes, and once we see the taxes being cut, how shall we then fund all these things, paying salaries, the health sector that we also see still has no
our
drugs,
economy is
but
basically run by the
goes to
forces
health,
of demand and supply.
and
Our
what.
economy is, for just to narrow it down,
Yeah.
the forces of demand and supply. Now, the supply is extremely low. The demand is high.
Yeah.
What do you expect? The demand is extremely high. The
Yeah.
supply of basic things that we need at home, sabuni, sukari,
Yeah, the supply is low because of
extremely,
what we know,
definitely.
the
Fuel,
Yeah.
it has to be moved. You know, the things have to be moved from where they are, where they're produced
Yeah.
from to.
I thought that the president had wise solutions, because for a crisis, you must have long-term and short-term. The long-term solutions were brilliant. You know, there's a time he said sugar can be turned into petrol, and you're thinking, does Uganda have the technological means to turn fuel into petrol, and can that be sustainable for the economy? If you're talking about, if we have sugar in surplus, then it can be transformed to petroleum. Then,
you remember there's a time in this country
Yeah.
where we didn't have paraffin, like kerosene, eh? And remember that time, like the hydropower, amasanyalaze gali matini, it was majorly in the capital cities.
We'd
and
have power
in the
on
cities.
today, power off the next day, on and off.
But in the villages,
Yeah.
kerosene was a really big deal. Ubongo ine etale gena paraffin steamer. When we were growing up for us,
Todoba, is it Tadoba?
Tadoba.
Uh-huh.
You used to be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Ngamuli bakabi, and remember there was a crisis. We recovered from that.
So I don't know. We shall recover, but it will get worse before it gets better.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was explaining there some.
The correct action is to kukekereza, being frugal, or getting alternatives for the non-oil items. Number 2, to use our own raw materials, such as sunflower oil and castor oil and sugar for soap, as we wait for the expanded palm oil production, which takes longer. But sunflower takes only 4 months. For bread, we can use our banana and cassava flour for bread making, apart from eating the traditional foods.
Those are short-term solutions for
it feels
Museveni,
like,
for
you
us
know,
as Uganda.
what he said there just reminded me of how we used to live in the 1980s.
Which part? The using of palm oil? Because I don't
And
remember.
sugar. Yes.
Banana.
Oh, God. No.
No, but I think right now where we are left,
Palm.
we have been pushed to the wall.
No.
And we have
it's a no.
Not what?
Sugar.
No, if we have no options, Bambi. Yeah? That is the only solution that the president can add,
Oh
you
my
know?
God.
It's another of him saying that you people, things are really bad. Just, find any way you can survive.
I was going to
through
say
these
something.
times.
Yeah, net drone, is it wala? So, let me go slow. But then sugar. Anyhow, away from that, on the subsidization of taxes, and what did he say?
Yeah, he said he thought about reducing of local taxes. Of course, he said petrol fuel is not a guarantee that if you reduce, the prices will come down. Obviously.
Yeah.
Then he talked about cutting of prices on local commodities, taxes on local commodities that he thought about, but he thought again of how the taxes that help the country will be tampered with.
It will be a big pinch onto the economy.
Some of the ideas people think about are the idea of subsidy or removal of taxes with imported commodities. This is a recipe for disaster. If we subsidize or even just remove the taxes, the level of consumption will either remain the same, but this time each liter taking more dollars, or actually increase. The removal of taxes on some of the commodities would mean tax loss to the government of Uganda shillings 1.53 trillion for petroleum, 1.15 trillion for diesel, and Uganda shillings 520 billion for wheat. How then do we fund our budget? There's another problem. Smuggling. When an item is cheaper in one country, there's a powerful incentive for smugglers to buy cheap in Uganda and sell expensively in the neighboring country.
So in other words, buli omu akwate mune ku mugongo amuweweete amugambe mukwano guma tuyinza obutali akagaati for some time, emmotoka givuge only for emergencies. Naye gula akagaali roadmaster.
I think that's the
Maanyi
best
gakifuba
option.
oba jogawo.
Akagaali oba
Oba
tambula.
emotoka musoge
You can
muzikube.
walk.
Emotoka tusoge tuzikube full tanka. Naye nga tutambulira no mu kibuga. Now people that have to go up, I don't know how it's going to be.
Of course, there is going to be an increase in the price. It's general now. We can't say because when fuel is up, everything is going to shoot up.
It's going to be
rent is going to shoot
There's
up.
going to be a time when the problem is not the money for the fuel.
Yeah.
Because after never got take up cent make some people will still afford. And the problem will be the fuel not
I think
available at
generally because leave alone the small cluster of people who can afford to buy fuel. But majority of Ugandans actually cannot afford even the transportation to go to their places of work every day and back is already expensive for them.
Definitely.
People survive on less than $1
a day.
A day.
Less
now,
than half a dollar.
A full meal in a day is not. You can't afford a full meal at less than $1. Kubanga portion now we have it at 2.8, almost 3,000. A kilo of rice, the cheapest is 3.5. Now, if you go to Zzina, the price has increased. That would be the cheapest. Silverfish, I think is probably the cheapest thing because if you go to these other items, greens are expensive.
Yes.
Even nuts are expensive. So how does a poor person survive in such times?
Definitely. Anyhow, away from that, there's an outbreak of a disease globally. Munsi yonna obulwadde obwabaluseewo babuyita monkeypox. Monkeypox. We've heard of chicken pox.
Smallpox.
We've heard of smallpox. It's the very first time I'm hearing about monkeypox.
No, monkeypox I think was here even 4 years ago, according to Uganda Virus Institute. They say there are traces of monkeypox here in Uganda that have been traced to 4 years ago.
I'm seeing here, it's a global incident. I'm seeing a list here.
US and UK.
Most of the UK countries have. I see Belgium, Germany, France, Canada, Italy, Netherlands, Portugal, Spain.
As of Saturday, about 100 cases were reported, I think, in the UK alone. 100 cases. It's a disease that brings blisters. These blisters are swollen with pus. They're very painful. It comes
nasty.
with fever, it comes with headache, and
I'm here
other
looking at a
symptoms.
child who
So funny thing is the pictures are circulating around social media of not social media but the internet are only of black people with smallpox. I mean not small monkeypox, but monkeypox is attacking white people in the UK and the US. Much as the first case was from Nigeria. The Nigerian traveled abroad and then infected because you infect with close contact.
So let me ask, how do you get monkeypox? You have to eat a monkey?
Simani. I don't know. I really don't know.
The way they name some of these things.
But maybe it's the wild animals because you know Nigerians are big on eating wild animals.
More than the Congolese.
Monkeys and even Congo has had incidents of smallpox. That's how Uganda, actually Bunyoro and Lake Albert region has 4 years ago we had cases of monkeypox from the DRC. Yeah.
So some of the signs and symptoms of monkeypox. Omutwe gukuluma.
Headache, fever.
You have an acute onset fever of above 38.5 degrees Celsius. You have swollen lymph nodes. Then you have muscle and body aches. What they call mururimi or futi. Myalgia. I don't know if I've read that right. Then you have back pain. Then you have profound weakness. But the the prominent symptom, you get
those blisters.
Blisters onto your body that have pus.
Yeah, swollen with pus.
If you see any of those symptoms, please report.
Yeah, but Uganda is on high alert according to the curative director, director curative services Ministry of Health. It's called Dr. Olaro. He says we are on high alert. We have handled pandemics before, and much as we know it's a global thing, we are following trends in the UK and the US. So by the time it enters Uganda, we will know how to contain
Remember
it.
when they used to talk about COVID and we say, we are kawa.
We are still far. But now the world is a global village. Somebody from US on a plane, few hours in Uganda, close contact, and that's it.
So guys, let's be on high alert. That's what's happening in the world of the news. You can check out more stories on our website, www.galaxyfm.co.ug. Woba oinaye chintu chonna blood nga kikutte squeeze. This is the time of the day when we get to talk about it on 0707 102 102. Good morning, he's Zex Inchkumi.